So I grew up going to church in a Christian family, but it wasn't until I was about 17 that I started to realise what a relationship with Jesus really looked like. And so in coming to university, I think I really wanted to make that decision for myself to come to church. And in finding G2, I just felt it was a really welcoming community. And I think it was the second sermon that I went to. It just really resonated with me, and I really felt God telling me that it was where I was meant to be.
So I started going to church when I was born. I went right through up till I was 15 years old. I was brought up in a Christian family and I loved it. I felt a sense of belonging and a real sense of community. But for some reason, when I was 15, I decided that my way was better and I started to walk my own path. And because of that, like the next four years I took a bit of a plunge really. Started making mistakes and so it wasn't great. So when Sam Hills and Bella Graves invited me to come to G2 in, it must have been third term of first year, I jumped at the opportunity and I really haven't looked back since.
So I've grown up in church and my family have always gone to church, and so I've been involved in youth groups and been at church services from being really young, and then when I come to uni, I started coming to G2 and that's where I've kind of made my home.
I grew up in Poland. I was born in Poland, and I've been to church when I was in Poland, but I was never really that into. I've never really believed in God, and when I moved to England when I was like 8, I just completely stopped going to church. I thought it wasn't really relevant to me. I thought that like God and all that stuff just wasn't important, and none of my friends really went, and I just didn't go to church until very recently when, like, the winter term, I met a really cool friend and I found out she went to G2, and one day she invited me to come down because I was kind of like a bit low emotionally. I was like, oh, maybe like I'll meet loads of new friends and I'll be surrounded by positivity, so I thought that it'd be like a good way to start off. Yeah.
Before I accepted Jesus into my life, I was really consumed with anxiety and I was really seeking validation through others. But in accepting Jesus into my life, that kind of weight was really lifted, and I just felt this whole new sense of purpose and of identity in Him. And I just think by receiving the unconditional love of Jesus, my relationships with other people have become rooted in that love and just all the more joyful because of that.
So since coming to G2, and more specifically this year, I've been feeling this overwhelming sense of peace and comfort where there once was numbness, and like I just feel so much happier in who I am, and in my relationships, friendships. I feel it's changed completely, especially with my family, my friends. I'm no longer like inward looking. I feel like I really want to serve the interests of other people and speak life into people. And I feel like I've had this new sense of purpose, which I just didn't have before. So yeah, I'm excited for the future and what it has to hold.
Yeah, I've just seen the change that He's made for other people. He's been such a foundation and rock. So when I've been struggling, He's always someone to turn to, and He's always been there. Consistently.
It's been quite like a bit of an eye-opener, because in the past I didn't really look at God before as like anybody that really like loved me or cared about me. It was just somebody that I guess like made me. Like I didn't really disbelieve in Him, but I just thought He was there. And then as I sort of started to understand Him more, as I started getting to G2, I started to like, I guess, just take a lot more value in like friendships and relationships and all that stuff, and it's just a lot more wholesome. Like it's just, yeah, it's good.
I think in coming to university, it's kind of like moving away from home and starting building your own life. And in my life, I really want God to be at the centre of everything that I do. And so I really felt a calling on my heart to reaffirm my baptismal vows as a way of affirming my love in God, and just kind of publicly and fully surrendering my life to Him.
So I am getting baptised because I'm a follower of Jesus. I want to like publicly show my commitment, and this is going to be like a milestone for me, and just want this to root my faith.
I'm getting baptised because I know that I want to continue to grow my faith as a Christian and continue to get to know Jesus better. And so getting baptised is publicly saying to friends and family that I've made the decision to keep following Jesus and I want to grow in life.
So I'm getting baptised because I believe that now that I've found God, it's changed my life quite a bit, and I look at baptism as a way that it's a nice way to start fresh and kind of like, I guess maybe wash away like that previous life where I didn't really believe in God at all. And it's just like a nice way to enter and start off and kind of celebrate that I start off this new life. And it's just, I feel like that's great.